We are back again with our Wolf Expo news, and today I would love to welcome Mr. Melvin Xavier, who is our guest, to speak about the trends in the perishables industry. So welcome, Mr. Xavier.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to be with you.
So, Mr. Xavier, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your unique freight network that I believe is the first one and only one of its kind in the world.
Thank you, Lucia. My name is Melvin Xavier, and I am the director and co-founder at Cold Chain Connect. Before I get into that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a passion for freight and the people behind it. I've been involved with my family freight business for the last 16 years, and in my time, we have come to develop our perishables vertical. However, I have found it difficult to find the right partners globally to carry my perishable freight business. Mm-hmm. There are lots of networks with countless agents, but none that truly understands our strength, perishables. And so I decided to reach out to my friends, Christian Räuber and Nils Wolle, who are pioneers in the freight networking business. I threw the idea of starting a niche freight network for forwarders that specialize in food and perishables. Mm-hmm. This was something that's never been done before, and I was apprehensive, but they were supportive and excited for it, and the rest is history. We established Cold Chain Connect in 2018 and hosted our first annual conference in Macau late last year. And today, I can proudly say that we are over 60 members in 35 countries around the world. All our members have one thing in common: perishables. I get to share my passion with my fellow members.
Along those lines, tell us what are some of the trends shaping the perishable supply chain industry in the COVID era.
Now, traditionally, perishables as a vertical was taken for granted, and not many forwarders paid a lot of attention to it. But all that changed with the pandemic. Now, we all saw that there was a surge in demand for perishables and food. This was fueled by panic buying from consumers around the globe. People feared that supply chain bottlenecks would lead to a shortage of food supply. But logistics operators, shipping lines, and airlines came together to find innovative ways to keep the food supply chain moving. Mm-hmm. The pandemic brought perishable forwarders to the forefront of supply chain logistics. There was a newfound respect for forwarders that helped bring food to the table. And now we see a lot of forwarders entering this vertical and wanting to connect with other specialists around the world. Another interesting trend we saw was that virtually all the high-value perishable exports, including fruits, vegetables, fresh meat, seafood, and dairy products, were now meeting demand from retail supermarkets versus in the past, in the pre-COVID era, which was dominated by wholesale buying for restaurants. So we saw a shift from restaurant buying to supermarkets. A third trend that we're seeing is an increase in demand for local produce in several markets. As air freight prices soared during the COVID period, it was natural that the prices of imported vegetables, fruits, and fresh produce went through the roof. And this impacted the way people consumed their groceries and put pressure on local farmers and producers to meet demands locally. I suspect that this is a temporary trend, and as air freight rates return to pre-COVID era levels, demand for international foods will once again rise. We don't have the time to go into more at the moment, but if you're interested, I can ask your audience to perhaps join us as we are hosting a panel discussion at the World of Freight Expo on the trends shaping the perishable industry.
Yes, exactly. That's true. So you will be part of our WOF Expo. And we are indeed so excited about that. And so tell us, what is your opinion about the positioning of WOF Expo in the central and eastern part of Europe?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Eastern and Central European countries like Poland, Czech Republic, Romania, Hungary, and Slovakia today are amongst the fastest growers in Europe in terms of GDP. And such strong economic performance is prompting countries in Eastern Europe to determine a greater say in the future of the European Union. Naturally, UK, Germany, France, Italy will continue to shape the future of EU, but the world is waking up and taking notice of activities in Central and Eastern European region. And for a network like us, it's a shame that we aren't adequately represented in this region. And we would like to take this opportunity to expand our presence by reaching out to forwarders and logistics operators in this region. Our members are hungry to meet with potential partners and explore this relatively untapped market. So I can tell you that we're extremely excited to showcase our network at the World of Freight Expo in Bratislava next year and meet with potential partners.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, what will be the impact of the pandemic for further development in logistics network?
The pandemic has forced networks to rethink their business model. Traditionally, conferences were the cornerstone of creating useful and meaningful engagements amongst members. This has now changed. Freight networks now recognize the importance of creating virtual interactions amongst members. Along these lines, we at Cold Chain Connect are hosting our first conference on the 8th to the 10th of December. This is new territory for us and something that's exciting. We're also launching an intranet app that will allow members to interact digitally. They could do things like check their agency lists, share leads, send inquiries, follow network updates, and even share pictures on a centralized social wall. All of this under one single window. I believe that the way networks do business has now changed forever. A vaccine may be available soon, but some of the habits that we picked up during the pandemic is here to stay. Digital platforms and virtual interactions are going to play a huge role in the development of any network. And I think this is going to be an important value addition for members across the globe.
Thank you, Melvin. Thank you so much for your time and impressive thoughts. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure seeing you, and I look forward to seeing you and all of your audience at the World of Expo next year in Bratislava.
Thank you so much.
Until then, see you. Goodbye.